Hi Gemini, this is your weekly reading for the week beginning the 6th of April 2020. It is just a general reading, taking a look at the energies affecting you right now. Now it might not resonate with all of you, there are a lot of Geminis around after all, but take from it what you need and hopefully this will help. Right, are you ready Gemini? See what the cards have got to say for you. Right. First up, we've got the Queen of Arrows, Swan. Now, this is it's all about separation, distance, moving on, possibly a sense of loss as well. And this is kind of the energy that is affecting you at the moment. This is what's sort of dominating your life. It's kind of what's on your mind. And then definitely, because coming up next we have, we've got the Seven of Vessels morning, and this is telling you that there is time, it's time now to let something go. You're moving on from something, honour what's past, and move on. It's kind of your focus at the moment. This is really sort of a strong theme in your life right now. Now, your thoughts at the moment, we've got the Nine of Arrows, dedication. You're kind of working hard on something, and I feel like this is a labour of love rather than just a mundane kind of job. This is something that it could be working on you, it could be a hobby of something that you've got, it could be your family, anything that you're putting a lot of energy and determination into. You're very focused on this at the moment. And your feelings, we've got the Queen of Vessels, the Salmon. Now, she's a very very caring, very loving, very supportive person, which could well be you. But there's often a message of self-sacrifice that comes with this card, that she tends to give up too much of herself for other people. I'm wondering if that's what you've been doing lately. Maybe that's what you're having to let go of. Now, what drives the issue? We've got the Mirror. Now, this is kind of saying you kind of got to go with the flow. I think the situation at the moment is a little bit out of your control. You can't affect all of it. You know, the things happening in your life at the moment. Sometimes you've got to just roll with it. I kind of feel it's like you just got to surrender to it, and that it will take you in the right direction. But the only thing you can really affect with it is how you react to it. You can't actually affect the situation itself, because that's going on regardless. And then heading into the future, this is a way forward. Now, we've got the Stag, and he's all about responsibility, taking responsibility for your own actions, being quite strong and determined, but in a way that you're very much in control. You're taking charge of a situation. I think here you've had to kind of let go, and that's made you feel very uneasy. And as you move on, you're kind of taking charge of things and saying, right, now this is it. This is what I've got to do, and actually taking responsibility for yourself. And if you do that, we come towards this one, which is the Ten of Vessels, happiness, which I'm really quite relieved to see come out after we've had this one and this. It's nice to see something that's really quite sort of fulfilling. The Ten of Vessels, it's really sort of a lot of joy and happiness and love and emotion, and everything's just flowing. But I think you've got to clear some things out of the way before you reach that stage. Now, your fears are the Lovers. So Is there a relationship that you're deciding you need to let go of at the moment? Is this what you're moving away from? There's something about this relationship that is a concern for you. And your hopes and dreams. Now, I think you've been feeling a bit out of control for a while. That's where that need for taking responsibility for yourself comes in. It's as though for a long time the situation has been taken over and you felt like a pawn in it rather than actually making things work for you. And this is coming in as a reminder that you really do need to be aware of everything going on around you. You know, you can't just float through life thinking just about you, and I'm not suggesting you have been doing that, but you've got to be aware of what's going on around you as well. You need to take control, be aware of the situation. Yeah, I think there's a lot of strength available to you if you do that. Now I'm going to give the cards another little shuffle and see if we can get some clarification on this. Take a look at things in a little more depth. Yeah, this we've got the Two of Stones challenge, and this is coming out with the Queen of Arrows, the Swan. So this separation, this moving away, this distance, this loss, it's all to do with some kind of conflict. I think you've been in a situation or a relationship or an environment where you've got two very strong people and both want to be the dominant party, both want to be in charge, and there's no real balance there. You're constantly fighting it all the time. And we have the Ancestor. Now, I like this card. She's very independent. She goes her own way, does what she wants in a controlled sense. But she's following a clear path, and she walks the beat of her own drum, and she won't let anyone get in her way. If she wants to achieve something, she'll do it. Now, this is coming out with the Seven of Vessels, which is about letting things go, which makes me think that this is a time for you to sort of move on, that you need to be leaving something behind. This is a journey forward for you, and you are walking away from something, taking the positives from it, but leaving most of it behind. And we've got the Page of Stones, the links. Now, there's a lot of energy here, and this is coming out with the Nine of Arrows, which is all about dedication and hard work. And I think this one is telling you to be a little bit controlled with, there's a lot of positive, strong energy that drives this one. And it often means you're being a little bit impetuous. It's kind of coming out as a warning to tell you that this is too important. What you're working on now is too important to make rash decisions. You've got to think things through. You've got to be careful and make sure you've got sort of all your ducks in a row before you take any kind of action. And we've got the Seven of Arrows, insecurity. Now, again, this is coming out with the Queen of Vessels, all about self-sacrifice. And I think that this almost certainly represents you. I think you've been giving too much of yourself to someone, or a situation, but you're feeling very insecure, and I think you're kind of overthinking the whole situation. But at the same time, I think there's kind of a need that you've got to please someone all the time, and if you're not managing to please them, then I think that's where this insecurity is coming from. And that's what you need to sort of step away from. I think this is where all this movement forward is coming from. You need to be focused more on you now rather than on other people, because by putting other people first, it's making you feel very undermined. Four of Bows, celebration. Now this is really quite a happy card. It's all about people coming together, doing positive things, happy things. I suspect there's not much of coming together with people at the moment, as we're all in this this lockdown situation, but the energy of that card is important, and that's all about this sort of, you know, this moving on, this surrender of will, and it's emphasising that you've just got to go with the situation, and actually there's a lot of happiness and positivity available to you if you do that. Just kind of let go for a bit. This is not the time to be making any massive decisions. There are decisions to be made, I think, but you're not in the right state of mind at the moment to actually be making them. And heading forward, again, this backs up the Stag, which is sort of responsibility and, you know, being in control. And this is very much the same. You know, we've got the Woodward, and he's such a strong character. And it's like he's kind of put his back against the wall, and he's saying, you know, come at me, throw it all at me. You know, I can take it. And you can, because you're taking charge of your own life now, and that's... Not yet. This is where you're heading. You've got to have all this release and leave things behind before you get to that. But you're really taking charge of yourself. Five of Stones, endurance. Now, yeah, you're putting up with the situation. It's not something that makes you happy. You're not really living your life, you're existing, you're coping rather than really being successful and enjoying things. And this is all to do with this relationship. I feel like it's as though you're trapped in a relationship that isn't really serving you, but you feel like there's no way out. It could be a situation, and it's not necessarily a romantic relationship either. You know, it could be family, it could be work. But it's a close-knit union, and it's not making you happy. You're just going through the motions at the moment. And yeah, we've got the wheel. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. This is all about change and taking control of your own life. I mean, the wheel moves on no matter what. You know, you can't stop it. What you can do is be in control of it, and this is what it's saying to you here. You know, you need to weave your own destiny, and yeah, really, this is all about being in control of the future, being aware of your situation, being aware of the environment, being aware of the people around you, and working with that to propel yourself forward. This is your time. This is time to be in control of your life, regardless of anyone else. You've got to be in control, and there are things around you that really aren't serving you anymore, that you need to sort of let go of or adjust. You don't necessarily have to walk away from something. You can change the situation. You can put your foot down and stay where you are, but you've got to start taking charge of it. Well, that's your reading for this week, Gemini. Please like and subscribe, and if you'd like to have a personal reading, then all the details of that will be below.